This might look like your life is getting better because you're adding more habits, more effort, more discipline, but it's not what you think. Because the real problem isn't what you're missing, it's what you refuse to remove. You've been trying to become stronger by stacking more on your shoulders, but no matter how much you carry, you still feel stuck, drained, and behind. That's because you're losing strength in ways you don't even notice, little by little, every single day. It's like trying to move forward while something keeps pulling you back. No matter how hard you try, you don't get far. And here's the part most people don't understand. What I'm about to show you is something most people go their entire lives without realizing, until it's too late. Real strength comes from fixing what slows you down, not just adding more on top. Niccolò Machiavelli revealed this 500 years ago. Real strength is quiet and doesn't need to be shown. The people who rise don't talk much. They just change things quietly. Right now, there are things in your life quietly weakening you, draining your focus, your respect, your control. Some of them are so subtle, you wouldn't even think they're a problem. And until you remove them, nothing you add will matter. If you don't fix these hidden problems, you'll keep moving but never getting ahead. Most people think they need more effort, more discipline, but that's the mistake. They build on a weak base, and when it breaks, they don't know why. And when someone starts changing, people react in different ways. Some try to stop them, some doubt them, and some just wait to see if they fail. That's why most never become powerful. Not because they can't, but because they make everything visible. They talk, they explain, they announce. And the moment you do that, you invite resistance. Niccolò Machiavelli knew this well. Real change grows where no one is watching. You don't need to talk about it. People will see it later. Right now, things are draining your power. In the next few minutes, I will show you what they are and how to remove them quietly. One rule: keep it to yourself. The first thing you must quietly eliminate is your emotional reactions. Right now, people can read you too easily. Something small happens, and your face shows it. Someone says something, and your mood shifts right in front of them. You get excited, upset, annoyed, and it's all visible. It feels honest. It feels natural. But what you don't see is what you're giving away. Every reaction shows people something about you. And when people have information about you, they know how to control you. They learn what triggers you, what gets under your skin, what makes you happy or uncomfortable. And once they know that, they can use it. Not immediately, but slowly, over time. That shapes how you respond. Watch people closely, and you'll see it. When they know they can get a reaction, they keep pushing that same button, because it works. And the more it works, the more control they gain over you without you even realizing it. So this is where things start to shift. You don't tell people you're working on yourself. You don't say you're trying to be calm. You simply pause. Something happens, and instead of reacting right away, you take a moment, you think, you decide what to show instead of letting it come out automatically. You still respond, but now it's controlled, steady, chosen. And over time, people notice something is different. They try the same things that used to affect you, but now nothing happens. No clear signal, no easy reaction. And that confuses them, because they can't read you anymore. And when people don't understand you easily, they stop trying to control you. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that showing too much makes you easy to handle, while control makes you dangerous in a quiet way. You don't need to become cold, you just need to become selective. That's the first leak. Emotional reactions. Control what you show, and you take your power back without saying a word. This next one is easier to miss, but it affects you every day. The second thing you must quietly eliminate is being too available. Right now, people can reach you too easily. They can get your time, your attention, your response whenever they want. You reply fast, you say yes quickly, you make space for everyone. It feels like you're being kind, helpful, easy to deal with. But what you don't see is what it's doing to your value. And this is where most people unknowingly destroy their own position. The more available you are, the less people respect your time. When something is always there, always easy to get, it starts to feel cheap. Not because it is, but because it's too easy to access. Think about it. There's a pattern here that almost nobody questions, and once you see it, it changes how you look at everything. The things people value most are never easy to reach. They require effort, patience, timing. But you've made yourself too open, and now people treat your time like it costs nothing. They cancel on you, delay you, interrupt you, because deep down they know you'll still be there. That's the leak, and it's draining more than you realize. Now here's how you fix it without making noise. You don't tell anyone you're becoming less available. You don't make announcements or excuses. You just change your behavior. You take longer to respond, not to play games, but because you're focused on yourself. You say no more often, without over-explaining. You stop jumping every time someone calls or asks. And slowly, something changes. People start to feel your absence. They start to value the time they do get from you. They become more careful, more respectful, because now access to you isn't guaranteed. And here's the key, because you never announced it. No one feels rejected. No one feels like you pushed them away. They just assume your life became more important. And that assumption works in your favor. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that people judge value by what they can't easily have. When you become harder to reach, you don't lose importance, you gain it. That's the second leak. Availability. Make it rare, and watch how everything around you shifts. Now this next one looks small, but it changes how people treat you. The third thing you must quietly eliminate is the habit of explaining yourself. You may not notice it, but you do this all the time. Someone asks why you made a choice, and you start giving reasons. Someone questions you, and you rush to make them understand. It feels normal, even polite, but every time you do this, you give away a piece of your power. The moment you explain, you put yourself in a weaker position. Now they get to judge your reasons. Now they get to decide if what you did was right or wrong. And once they feel like they have that role, they start using it. They question more. They push more. They expect answers from you like you owe them something. Watch closely, and you'll see it. The more you justify yourself, the more people start poking at it. Because when you explain, it shows you want approval, and the moment someone feels that, they gain control over you. So here's what changes. You don't announce anything. You don't tell people you're done explaining. You simply stop. When someone asks why, you give a short answer or no answer at all. Not rude, not emotional, just calm and firm. You move on like it doesn't need discussion. In the beginning, people may notice something different and react to it. They'll try to pull explanations out of you. But when they keep getting nothing, things start to change. After some time, they don't question it anymore. Not because you told them to, but because they learned they can't get anything from you. And that's the difference. If you say you've changed, they challenge it. If you just change, they accept it without even realizing. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that quiet control is stronger than open force. The person who talks becomes a target. The person who stays calm becomes hard to read. And the harder you are to read, the harder you are to control. That's the third leak. Explanations. Stop feeding it, and you'll feel the shift almost immediately. The next one is common, but it quietly damages your position. The fourth thing you must quietly eliminate is complaining. You may think it's just talking, just letting things out, but every time you complain, people start seeing you as less in control, even if what you're saying is completely valid. You talk about what's unfair, what's not working, what someone did to you. And while it may feel good for a moment, it sends a clear message to anyone listening: you don't have control. You are reacting instead of leading. And once people see that, they treat you differently. Some stop taking you seriously. Some start seeing you as someone who struggles. And others, the wrong kind, see an opening. Because people who complain often stay stuck, and people who stay stuck are easy to overlook or take advantage of. Even if your complaint is valid, even if you're right, the act of complaining puts you in a lower position. It tells the world that your situation is stronger than you. So here's the shift. You don't announce that you've stopped complaining. You don't tell people you're trying to be positive. You just stop speaking about problems unless you're solving them. If something is wrong, you either fix it or you move away from it, quietly. No long talks, no repeated frustration, no sharing the same issue again and again. And when people try to pull you into complaining, you don't join in. You listen, you stay neutral, and you move on. Over time, something changes. People stop bringing problems to you because they don't get the reaction they expect, and they start seeing you as someone who handles things instead of talking about them. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that power comes from position, not emotion. The one who stays steady is respected more than the one who reacts loudly. That's the fourth leak. Complaints. Remove them, and you quietly move above situations that used to control you. The fifth thing you must quietly eliminate is giving free advice. You do this more than you think. Someone has a problem, and you jump in with a solution. Someone asks a question, and you give them your best thinking right away. It feels helpful. It feels smart. It even feels like you're doing the right thing. But what you don't see is the cost. And this cost doesn't show up instantly. It builds quietly. When you keep giving your ideas away, people stop seeing them as important. You're handing over something that took you time to learn, time to understand, time to build, and you're giving it to people who didn't earn it and often don't even use it. And even worse, some people take what you give them and use it for their own gain while you get nothing back. This is where it turns from a habit into a liability. Over time, this drains you, not just your energy, but your position. Because when your thinking is always available, people stop seeing it as something valuable. They expect it, they take it, and they move on. So here's how you fix this without creating tension. You don't tell people you've stopped helping. You don't say your advice has value now. You simply stop offering it so freely. When someone talks about a problem, you listen, but you don't jump in to solve it. If they ask directly, you slow down. You ask them what they've already tried. You make them think first. And if the situation calls for real value, you create some kind of exchange. It doesn't always have to be money, but it has to be something. Because when something comes too easily, people stop valuing it. And when you quietly make this shift, people start to notice your words carry more weight. They don't get easy answers anymore. So when you do speak, it matters. Niccolò Machiavelli believed that what is given too easily is never truly valued. Your mind is one of your strongest assets. Treat it like it matters. That's the fifth leak. Free advice. Save your best ideas for the right time and the right people. Now this next one is dangerous because it feels comfortable. The sixth thing you must quietly eliminate is comfort friendships. These are the people you keep around, not because they help you grow, but because they're familiar. You've known them for a long time. You share history. You feel comfortable. But comfort is not the same as value. And confusing the two is what keeps people stuck for years. Some of these relationships are slowly draining you. They take your time, your energy, your focus, and give very little back. You leave conversations feeling tired instead of stronger. You spend hours with them and move nowhere in your life. And the worst part is, it feels normal, so you don't question it. But every hour spent with someone who adds nothing is an hour taken away from something that could change your future. These friendships don't look harmful on the surface, but over time, they keep you in the same place. And staying in the same place is a quiet form of falling behind. Now, here's where most people make a mistake. They think they need to confront, to explain, to officially end things. But that creates problems, drama, and unnecessary tension. Instead, you do something much smarter. You fade. You slowly become less present. You reply a bit later. You say no more often. You stop being the one who always reaches out. You're not cold. You're not rude. You're just less available than before. And over time, the connection weakens on its own. No big moment, no clear ending, just distance that grows naturally. And because you never made it a big deal, they don't turn against you. They don't feel rejected in a sharp way. They just accept that things changed. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that the smartest moves are the ones no one can point to. When there's no clear action, there's nothing to fight against. That's the sixth leak. Comfort friendships. Let them fade slowly, and give your time to better things. The seventh thing you must quietly eliminate is visible effort. Right now, you let people see how hard you're working. You talk about being tired. You mention how much you're grinding. You show the struggle. It feels honest, even motivating, but it comes with a hidden cost. A cost that changes how people rank you in their mind. When people see you struggling, they don't just see effort, they see pressure. They see strain, and that changes how they view you. Some begin to doubt you, wondering if you'll actually succeed. Some start to feel ahead of you, and others see an opportunity, because someone who looks stretched thin looks easier to beat. Your effort becomes a signal, and not always a good one. Strong people don't show everything they go through. They stay calm and focused on results. And that image gives them an advantage before they even say a word. So, this is where you shift. But again, without saying anything, you stop talking about how hard things are. You stop showing every late night, every struggle, every push. You still work hard, even harder than before, but now it happens in private. No updates, no complaints, no signals. Then you show up with results. And when people see those results without seeing the struggle behind them, something interesting happens. They assume you're naturally good. They assume you're ahead. They assume you have control. And those assumptions start working in your favor. Because people don't judge what they don't see. They judge what's in front of them. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that appearance shapes belief. If you appear calm and in control, people treat you that way. If you appear strained, they question you. So, you control what they see. That's the seventh leak. Visible effort. Keep the work hidden and let the results speak louder than anything you could ever say. This next one is subtle, but it can cost you more than you think. The eighth thing you must quietly eliminate is information leaks. Right now, you share too much. You talk about your plans, your next steps, your ideas, even your struggles. It feels natural, like you're just having normal conversations. But every time you do this, you give away pieces of your position. People begin to understand your plans before you even act on them, and sometimes even what you're afraid of. And once that information is out, you can't control where it goes. It spreads. It reaches people you didn't intend. And some of those people use it. They prepare for your moves, they copy your ideas, or they block your path before you even take the first step. What could have been an advantage turns into something ordinary, or even worse, something used against you. And it all started because you spoke too freely. So here's how you fix it without drawing attention. You don't suddenly become secretive in a way that looks strange. You don't tell people you're keeping things private. You simply become less detailed. When someone asks what you're working on, you give a simple answer. Nothing deep, nothing specific. When they ask about your plans, you stay general. You shift the conversation. You keep things light and surface level. And over time, something changes. People stop getting useful information from you, not because you refuse directly, but because there's nothing clear to take. And that protects you, because now your moves happen without warning. Your progress builds without noise. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that advantage comes from knowing more than others, not from revealing what you know. The person who speaks less controls more. That's the 8th leak, information. Keep it contained, and you stay one step ahead without anyone realizing why. The 9th thing you must quietly eliminate is negotiable standards. You say you have limits, but when pressure comes, those limits start to move. You say no, but with enough pushing, it turns into a yes. You decide something isn't acceptable, but then you accept it anyway to avoid tension. And people notice this, even if they don't say it. They start to see that your limits can change. They learn that if they push a little more, you'll bend. And once they learn that, they keep pushing. Not all at once, but slowly. A little more each time. Until one day, the standards you thought you had are no longer there. Not because you removed them, but because you allowed them to be moved again and again. That's how people lose control without realizing it. Not suddenly, but gradually. It doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens in small compromises that add up over time. So, this is where you change, and like everything else, you do it quietly. You don't announce that your standards are stronger now. You don't explain your boundaries to everyone. You simply hold them. Someone pushes, and you don't move. No long explanation, no emotional reaction, just steady and clear. They try again, and you stay the same. And after a few tries, things start to change. They stop pushing, not because you convinced them, but because they experienced that you don't bend. That's what makes a boundary real, not words, but consistency. If you talk about your standards, people test them. If you show them through action, people accept them. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that people believe what they experience, not what they are told. When they hit the same wall enough times, they stop trying to break it. That's the 9th leak. Negotiable standards. Turn them into something solid, and people will adjust without you ever needing to explain a thing. The 10th thing you must quietly eliminate is the need for approval. This is where most of it starts. You may not see it clearly, but it's there, shaping your choices. You think about what people will say, how they will react, whether they will accept what you're doing. And because of that, you adjust yourself. You explain more so they understand you. You stay available so they don't feel ignored. You react so they can see how you feel. You give advice so they value you. You keep people around so you're not alone. You lower your standards so no one walks away. You share information so others feel included. All of it comes from one place, the need to be approved. And that need quietly weakens you because it puts your direction in someone else's hands. So this is where the real shift happens. And, like everything else, you don't talk about it. You don't say you don't care what people think. You simply stop checking outside for answers. You make a decision and ask yourself if it's right for you. If it is, you move forward. No extra validation, no second guessing based on opinions around you. You do something, and you judge it yourself. Was it good? Was it not? You decide. And over time, something changes inside you. You stop looking for approval because you don't need it anymore. And when that happens, all the other leaks begin to close on their own, because you're no longer trying to please, impress, or be accepted. You're acting from your own center. Niccolò Machiavelli understood that the person who depends on others for approval is never truly free. But the one who stands on their own judgment cannot be controlled. That's the final leak. The need for approval. Remove it, and everything else starts to fall into place without effort. Now understand this clearly, because this is where everything connects. Remove the need for approval, and the rest starts fixing itself. You stop explaining because you're not trying to be understood. You stop being too available because you're not trying to please. You stop reacting because you're not chasing responses. Most people fail because they fix the surface but ignore the root, so the same patterns return. But once you cut this need, control comes back to you. Decisions get simple, actions get clear. You stop worrying how it looks and focus on what works. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. Real control comes from within. When you stand on your own judgment, everything settles without noise. Now you see it clearly. These are the habits explaining yourself: being too available, reacting too fast, giving your thinking away, staying in draining circles, showing struggle, complaining, weak limits, sharing too much, and needing approval. Most people live like this without noticing. They keep adding more, hoping it will fix things, but nothing stays because problems are still there. That's why they don't move forward. But now you know the real issue. You don't need to do more, you need to stop what's holding you back. Now this is where it becomes real. Don't try to fix everything at once. Start small and stay quiet. Start with one thing and fix it quietly. Let your actions change, not your words. Then move to the next. Step by step, you remove what's been weakening you. As you do, your life starts to change. You feel more in control, your time feels protected, your energy lasts longer. People notice something is different, but they can't explain it. That's your advantage. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. What happens quietly lasts longer. And remember this, real progress happens when you stop what's slowing you down. Most people try to grow while holding on to what drains them. That's why nothing changes. So make the decision. Remove what weakens you, silently. If this makes sense to you, write, "I'm fixing myself." Now stop waiting and start doing.